People in the physical media realm are blind to a lot of these boutique label companies. They're at the point where it's just like, it doesn't matter what this company does, they just accept it and they're all in. I can make a video, for example, about Vinegar Syndrome, and I'll say something negative, like their shipping sucks. Then I get an army of people coming in and going, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know anything about shipping. They have to do it for X, Y, and Z reason, and they're a small company and you should be nicer to them. So, to counter that, if you work a 9-to-5 job and your boss says, hey, we're going to cut your pay by 25% and we're going to increase your workload by, 8%, you're just going to accept that? You're just going to bend over and let them screw you like that? Because I'm not. And you shouldn't let these companies do that to you. These boutique companies are charging more and they're not treating you any better. I mean, look at that. I didn't even like that Via Vision or whatever that put out that Never Ending Story set. They're sending people busted sets. I just had a gentleman message me saying, I got my set in and the leather is ripped. I messaged this company and I asked, can I get a replacement? Can I get a partial refund? And they, you know what they told him? No. You're stuck with it. Because these companies don't care anymore. Now, to be fair, that's a foreign company, and we all know these foreign companies deal in shady business practices. So it's not that big of a shocker. But you go on some of these websites, they'll tell you, hey, it is what it is. If you get a slipcover with a ding, we're not dealing with it. You're keeping it. You're not getting a refund. And, I've experienced this myself. For example, I've got Burial Ground on 4K here from Severin Films, and look at that slipcover. Do you see that hideous, disgusting ding? Now this movie is worth about 30% less than it should be retailing for, because I was given a faulty product. And Severin literally said, sorry, that's not a significant enough damage that we're willing to replace. It's become apparent that these companies just don't care about us. So why do we have to care about them? I'm going to say nice things about these companies when they do good stuff. But if they do something garbage and treat us like shit, they deserve to be called out. I'm tired of this loyalty. And it's not even just that. You think about it. There are people that, when they file their movies, they don't do it like me and you. I file my movies in order of value, from least valuable to most valuable. That's what normal people do. But these guys, they file it by label. They go, I've got all my Vinegar Syndromes here. I've got all my Severin Films here. Why? Why does it matter? How confusing would that be? That way, when you're going to do your audit, now you have to figure it out in such a strange path that it's going to be almost impossible for you to even find your most valuable movie. And then these guys are weird. They go, well, I want this company to put out this movie because I want to keep all the same movies in the series on the shelf together. If you weren't filing them like such a goober, you wouldn't have to worry about it. I mean, you could just be some boring, weirdo and put everything alphabetical, but at least you'd be able to find the movie. Does it really matter if, Shout Factory puts out Riddick on 4K and Arrow Video puts out Chronicles of Riddick on 4K? They both have beautiful slipcovers. And that's all that really matters. At the end of the day, that's the important thing, is the slips. Does it have a nice slip? Are these movies people are going to care about in 3 to 5 years? That's why I trash talk Kino Lorber, because they're notorious for putting out stuff that nobody wants. It's literally a bargain bin of stuff they got probably in a fire sale from these studios. And they haven't learned the masterwork of a company like Vinegar Syndrome, where it's just like, put it in a beautiful deluxe slipcover and you can sell that turd. And Shout, obviously, we know Shout Factory mastered that technique long before any of these guys. But it just doesn't add up. Why be loyal to these labels? Be loyal to you. Worry about yourself. If you're confident that something with a slipcover is going to be worth major cash in 3 to 5 years, get it. Don't worry about who's putting it out, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's your happiness that matters. You need to quit putting all your eggs in one label. And I'll be frank with you. I've been making demand after demand for a Rob Zombie 4K complete director filmography set. And you know what? If Kino Lorber put that out and they all had nice slipcovers, I'd get it day one. No complaint, and I would give them a thumbs up and applaud them. Because that's what we need to do. We need to quit worrying about labels and just worry about the release. And if it's got a good slipcover. Because at the end of the day, guys, that's all that really matters. So please, stay safe, and always keep slipping.